Today, from Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta, Georgia, it's Week 3 of the NFL on EA Sports.
We are pleased, as always, to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Today, it's Week 3, and we've got a good one in store between the Chicago Bears and the Atlanta Falcons. The final weekend of the summer. Hope you're enjoying it wherever you are as we are off and running on EA Sports. Here's Oliver. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. Here come the Falcons, and at the helm, their starting quarterback since the day he was drafted back in 2008. Their all-time leading passer, Matt Ryan.
And I saw that he had an interesting quote in the research packet that we had after last week's game. It's all on me now. I've got to lead my team and find a way for us to win a game. 0-2, but they're at home. I guess he's going to try and find a way to get the home crowd involved early.
Now this one into the hands of the tight end, Hayden Hurst. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34. The numbers for him from a week ago: 5 catches, 72 yards, and a touchdown.
And I'd certainly expect them to use him quite a bit because he runs excellent routes, has good hands, and knows how to get open.
And they'll look to avoid an early 3-and-out here on 3rd and 4.
3rd down and 4.
From the gun, it's Ryan. It's caught. Jones. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Ryan to Jones, the Falcon connection there for a first.
46-yard line.
3 tight ends in the ball game here on 1st and 10. Play action. Ryan. And he hits his target. This is Luke Stocker. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. It's a pickup of 12. Second play in a row with a 12-yard gain.
42-yard line.
Now the first carry here for Todd Gurley. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. Ryan's pass taken in by Ridley. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears 21. A first catch for the man leading the NFL in receiving yards in this first month. And a first down to boot. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Luke Stocker, incomplete.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10.
2nd and 10 at the 21-yard line.
They go play action with Ryan. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, 3rd down.
Brings up a 3rd down and 10 yards to go.
On 3rd down, Ryan. And that one's complete to Gurley. And he's going to be taken down short of the first, right around the 15-yard line. That one good for only 6, and it leaves him with a 4th down.
How about that strategy there, Brandon? 3rd down. They just said, we've got faith in our tacklers. We'll give you the short stuff, and just decided to protect the sticks. So every time I hear fans telling me tackling's not a part of the game anymore, plays like that, I can clip and save and show them you have to tackle well if you want to be a good defense.
So the opening drive does yield points, maybe not the 7 they wanted, but they'll take the 3.
Accumulating first downs does not go up on the scoreboard, but it does go into the DNA of a team that's trying to establish itself to start a game. That has to feel pretty good for them. They'll take the 3.
Yeah, they had 3 first downs and 3 points. Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their own 27. Off of play action, he'll look to throw. Firing quickly, but it's incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
The first carry for the shifty Tariq Cohen. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
A 5-yard pickup on the play. And it's 3rd down.
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Trubisky. A bullet throw, but incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
It's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
40 yards on the punt, 2 on the return. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Falcons football again. And, Charles, this is an Atlanta Falcons team that just suffered a heartbreaking loss to Dallas in Week 2. And their offense, though, playing at an elite level, 64 points in 2 games. But here's the stat from the Week 2 game against Dallas. It's crazy. In NFL history, teams that scored 39 points or more with no turnovers offensively were 440-0, but they're now 440-1 after that loss to the Cowboys.
You know what that stat sounds like, partner? It sounds like the NCAA basketball tournament. 16 playing the 1. And it never had happened until a couple of years ago. And then it did happen, right? That's the same thing with this guy. 440-0. It finally happened. The Falcons led the whole way. They were up 39-24 with 5 minutes to go. And then it all came apart. And the onside kick, I'll never understand how the Falcons didn't attack the onside kick, recover the football, and end the game. But then Greg Zuerlein, Greg the Leg, came in for Dallas and finished things off. What a comeback for them. And then the next 2 weeks, the 2-0 Bears are coming to town. And then another 2-0 team they have to play, and that's the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah, not an easy start to the season for the Atlanta Falcons. Things could get interesting here. On 1st down, it's Gurley. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
The ball carrier tackled at the 25-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup, brings up 2nd.
Now on 2nd down, this is Gurley. And he's going to take this down close to a 1st down at about the Bears 17.
That's the end of the
3-0 after 1 on EA Sports.
Bears nothing.
They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good position, 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Incomplete.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. A very quick pass to Ridley. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. The Falcon passing game looking good on this drive as they get the 1st down.
I think a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry, ball gets tipped in the air, because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense.
They'll try and push it in with Gurley. And he gets in. Touchdown, Atlanta. Tom Gurley. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Falcons will add on to their lead. That almost looked too easy, and I think thanks goes to the offensive line for making it look easy.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one. I'm not sure how much everyone understands the preparations that go into a game for an offensive line, because there's a reason that running backs and quarterbacks give them big gifts at the end of a season after a big year. The consistency and the continuity it takes to know each other and execute their blocks is pretty impressive.
It's up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 10-zip. So that drive goes 8 plays, and it's finished off by a Todd Gurley touchdown run. Now following the touchdown, Hoff-Richter to kick off. On the return, here's the dangerous Cordero Patterson. Now a hit and a loose football.
Fumble on the play, recovered by the receiving team.
So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy, because you want to make sure that the catch is secure. And a lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
Well, they go with a tight end carry. And he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33.
Ball carrier. He's taken down at the 33-yard line. A 3-yard pickup. Brings up 2nd and 7.
Here's David Montgomery, second-year man from Iowa State.
Number 32, David Montgomery.
5 men in the secondary now for the Falcons on 3rd down.
A 3-yard pickup. And it's 3rd down.
From the shotgun is Trubisky. He's got a 1st down and then some at midfield. And finally taken down at the 44-yard line. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
A gain of 21 yards.
I always thought Allen Robinson was a high flyer from his days at Penn State, and none of that has changed with the Chicago Bears. If you throw the ball out to the perimeter, if it's a 50-50 ball, more times than not, he's going to come down with it. And some say he was the victim of some subpar quarterback play last year. He didn't let that bother him at all. Still had 98 catches and over 1,000 yards receiving. Allen Robinson just goes out and plays hard each and every week.
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. They go backwards there 2 yards, and 2nd and 1 is now 3rd and 3.
3rd down.
Trubisky now to throw on 3rd down. And Gibbs got it. And that's going to be good for another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 27-yard line. His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a 1st down. Looking to throw Trubisky on 1st down. He gets it complete to Harris.
Trubisky's pass.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half, 10-0 our score. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass.
5 yards.
He finds Robinson. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. They'll try and pick it up with Cohen. And boy, is he close. Did he get there? No, they're going to say he's short of the line to gain. The Bears tried it on 4th down, unable to convert. And this 10-play drive winds up yielding nothing. A chance to get some momentum here in the 2nd quarter, getting their first trip into the red zone, but unable to get it across.
And if I'm the head coach, sure, you feel some disappointment, maybe a little bit of deflation there because you didn't get it in, but I'm going straight to rah-rah mode. All right, guys, we didn't get it this time. It's only 2nd quarter. We'll be back. Let's get it later on. I want to keep this team up. I don't want them to feel like they've let everyone down.
Positive.
Got to be positive in this situation. It's too early to think that you don't have a chance to win this game.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a 1st?
7-yard line.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. To throw again. Ryan hit, and he lost the football. And I think the Bears have recovered. They have.
Fumble on the play.
The defense, they were swarming that time and ultimately got to him before he could get rid of the football and knocked it free.
And don't you feel just a little bit of sympathy for him back there, though? So much going on, so much swirling around. He's trying to find someone downfield. He's trying to move around to find an open target. Sometimes you forget the number one thing, take care of the football.
Chicago's offense working their way back out here. And, Charles, this is a team that you saw in Week 2 in that very thin win over the New York Giants, 17-13. So both wins this year have been by a slim margin. But here's the bottom line. The Chicago Bears are 2-0. So What have you seen from this team?
I really felt like the first win at Detroit felt better to them, even though, as you noted, it was by a slim margin because of the comeback. Came from 23 to 6 down. In this game against the Giants, they were up 17-0. The Giants lose their best player in Saquon Barkley, one of their top players in Sterling Shepard on offense, and Chicago really doesn't capitalize. They end up holding on and winning 17-13, but I do still like this Bears defense. I think any team that's got to try and block that front, that's a problem. And in pass situations, Khalil Mack, Akeem Hicks, and now they can trot out Robert Quinn. Good luck keeping those guys away from your quarterback. So there is optimism for this team, but they'll need their quarterback to play well and the defense to carry them a little bit. It'll be a big one for them next week at Atlanta. Remember, the Falcons are 0-2 and come up.
And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Jimmy Graham, his second touchdown on the season. And the Bears have cut it to within a score. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take it to the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed. A lot of football, full half to be played. Extra point right down the middle. And that'll cut it to 3 and 10-7.
For Chicago.
Here's Oliver. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
At their own 30-yard line.
And now let's discuss Julio Jones. Second quarter here, he has only one catch, but they have the lead. You got to think there's going to be more involved at some point.
That's what you would expect, but sometimes what defenses do to take away a player of his magnitude, it costs them in other areas. And right now, with them losing, they may have to change their focus, and maybe he will open up a little bit more as the game goes on.
Yeah, well, so far, just the single catch. He completes this to Russell Gage. That catch good for 5. It's third down. Now a timeout. 7 seconds left in the first half. They had the catch on second down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at third down here. They'll try and pick up the first with Gurley. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks. And welcome in everybody to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Time for a look around the NFL here in Week 3 of the new year. We'll begin up at U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. And it's the Titans with the lead in the second quarter of play. Ryan Tannehill looking good. 2 touchdown passes. Next, we head off to check out another game. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting L.A. Rams. Josh Allen has thrown 2 touchdown passes. Lastly, let's get you to MetLife Stadium to see what's happening with the Giants at home in East Rutherford. And they trail in that one as it's the visiting 49ers who are out in front. 2 touchdown passes there for Jimmy Garoppolo. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a defensive struggle. Which offense can break through in the second half? To find out, let's hand it over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. The Falcons back to receive. They've got the lead, and they'll get this football as the second half gets underway. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there.
At their own 26-yard.
So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
A 4-yard pickup.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Out of the gun, running with Cohen. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
Carrier taken down at the 41. A gain of 4. It's now 2nd and 6.
From the 41, Trubisky. He's got the hook up to Miller.
Trubisky.
And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50.
A gain of 9 yards. First down, Bears.
From midfield now, here's Trubisky. Lets this one rip toward Graham. And nearly picked off there, and it would have been a great time for their first pick. Instead, it's 2nd down.
It's 2nd down and 10.
A play fake to Montgomery. Now Trubisky. No, he doesn't have it. Maybe some alligator arms there going over the middle. 3rd down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. He may try and run for this. Able to make something out of nothing there. 17 yards and a first down.
We just saw a nice example of why teams often bring in baseball guys to teach quarterbacks how to slide in key situations. You want to protect your franchise guy. Make sure he doesn't get hurt. He did exactly that on that play. A perfect slide to avoid the big hit and pick up a first down.
5 yards on the pickup, and it'll make it 2nd down. From the 28, it's 2nd and 5. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. Out of the gun, Trubisky.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. Trying to get it to Tariq Cohen out of the backfield. And it's 2nd down.
A good action to this point in the 3rd quarter. Just a 3-point game. 2nd and 10.
And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago.
Touchdown.
Tariq Cohen, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Bears have taken the lead. A strong, determined run there, Charles, to get in for 6 points.
This is why it's such a team game, isn't it? And I know it sounds really generic and it sounds almost trite, but the blocks were made up front, offensive line, collective victory at the line of scrimmage and downfield. And how about the finish to the run all the way into the end zone?
The extra point up and good. And the lead is now 14-10.
After the touchdown on is Pat O'Donnell to send this one away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line.
Falcons take over 1st and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
Here comes the Falcons offense. It's their first possession of the second half now. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
At the 43-yard line.
Throwing now. Ryan on first down. That's to the speedster Olamide Zaccheaus. And he'll be taken down by the face mask, it appeared. And yes, out come the flags. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to.
And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Julio Jones, 32 yards. yards. And the Falcons have retaken the lead. And a nice job by him to catch the slant and then navigate and break free.
And receivers love slant routes because it gets the ball in their hands so quickly and oftentimes on the move. And when they're on the move like that, then they get to use their best asset, which is usually their speed.
And their speed sometimes, like this instance, can take him into the end zone. And his kick is good, but flags come in. Looks like we're going to get a roughing call here on the follow-through. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. They had gotten the lead with the opening drive touchdown in the third quarter. Now they relinquished that lead back. Could be in for an interesting second half.
It certainly appears that way, doesn't it? Almost turning into one of those pendulum games, right? Where it swings back and forth, and who's going to make the play and changes that. But maybe it puts it on one side and keeps it there.
Well, CD, taking a step back, we're 2 weeks into the season, and you already kind of get the sense that teams are beginning to separate themselves. If you look at the 2-0 teams, and remember, 62% of 2-0 teams ultimately make the playoffs. Baltimore, Kansas City, Green Bay, Seattle, just to name a few, they look really good.
They certainly do, and in a lot of ways, those are the teams that we expected to be 2-0 at this part of the season. I mean, it's no major surprise. But how about Arizona being 2-0 as well? People talked about them getting better in the offseason. I don't know how many of us thought they'd beat San Francisco in the opener. They did. Then they jumped on Washington this week, and they are 2-0 as well.
Now, on the other side of the spectrum, we know the not good news about teams that start 0-2. The Giants and the Jets both there. Detroit, Cincinnati. So, again, maybe some more predictable names.
Certainly, they are predictable. Again, not a surprise for most of them, although many thought Detroit would be improved at this point. But how about a team that's 0-2 that went through a little bit of a difficult offseason like the rest of us, but even more so because of players being gone? How about Houston being 0-2 right now? They won the division last year. I think that's a little bit unexpected right now, even though they had a tough opening schedule with Kansas City and Baltimore.
Gonna let one fly for... It's caught inside the 25. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. 36 yards on the play.
Well, this is where an offense needs to show what it's made of, and in fact, where a quarterback needs to show what he's made of, trying to engineer a fourth-quarter comeback, and he hits a big one right there.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Trubisky. And Graham's got it. Complete. So he got free of one tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else.
Jimmy Graham.
5 yards on the catch there. Brings up second down.
Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 16-yard line.
To throw again on 2nd down. Trubisky. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Yeah, that one going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
That ties the game at 17.
I tell you, the life of a kicker. He has not been called on the entire game. He's over there by the net, but they send him out here in the 4th quarter and say, hey, go tie the game, will you? And guess what? He comes through.
I just don't know how they do it. I really don't. These cats are a different breed from you and me. That's a pressure kick, but that one was never in doubt.
Atlanta now coming out on the field.
And we essentially have a brand new ball game. After that last field goal has tied us all up, we brace for what should be an exciting rest of this 4th quarter.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. Now a throw over the middle, and he's got it to start the drive. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Right off the bat, it's a 1st down to start the drive, 12 yards.
6-yard line.
I know I'm one of those that overuses certain terms, and this one, explosive, is what we use for a lot of receivers, but that's Calvin Ridley. Nice catch there, and not only is he explosive, he's been very productive. Since being drafted in 2018, one of the top touchdown rates in the league as a wide receiver.
A throw over the middle, taken in. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup. So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. From the gun, it's Ryan. That's caught over the middle by Hurst. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards.
That's another.
My goodness, they've come out locked in on this drive. Play calling, execution, they are fully in sync. 3 straight passes, 3 first downs. They're moving the ball downfield almost at will. This defense really struggling to find answers.
And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. Intended target on that one, Russell Gage, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Throwing again, Ryan. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Throwing again, Ryan. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
And this one is right through. And the Falcons are out to a 3-0 advantage.
20. Bears 17.
So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
1st and 10. At their own 20.
The Chicago offense set to get started. And now they find themselves trailing following the field goal. Still a good amount of time in this 4th quarter, but this drive very well could determine the outcome of this ball game. On 1st down, Trubisky. And that is incomplete. He was trying to get it that time to Ted Ginn, but it'll be 2nd down. You and I watched film yesterday, and you told me to watch his feet. Well, for whatever reason, his footwork just looked off on that throw.
And you always love it when the next defensive back talks quarterback mechanics, right?
Well, but you're good at it.
Well, I try, all right? I don't know how good I am, but it doesn't take much to tell. His mechanics are off a little bit, exactly what you described. Footwork, that led to the incompletion.
They'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
And out. It's 4th down.
They'll try and throw for it with Trubisky. He can run for it, and he will. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Less than 2 to play with just a field goal separating these two sides. Throwing now is Trubisky. The connection made. It's Graham. And he'll go out of bounds. It appears right at the 45. 3 yards the gain there. 2nd down.
A 3-yard pickup.
They'll look to throw. Forced out to his left. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
3rd and 7.
Trubisky to throw. Powers ahead at the 45. The escapability in evidence there as that one good for 15 and a 1st.
Brought him down.
Rolling to his left. Now he'll pull it down. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call.
Offense.
Don't do us like that.
So a holding penalty, and that'll send him backwards.
You know they're trying not to do that. I mean, we know that, right? We talk to them all the time. But sometimes the defensive guys just put you in awkward situations, and you get caught grabbing their jerseys. penalties.
They'll find Miller. That's complete. The Bears moving hastily into hurry-up offense. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. And that's Grady Jarrett who forced his way through to register the sack.
Brandon, that's just football 101. If you're out of the pocket, you've got to get rid of the football in this situation. You cannot take a sack in a 2-minute drill.
First down, here's the run with Montgomery. And flags come in as he gets forward for about 3 yards. Now let's check on the call. That hold coming from the middle of the line, the center.
And it's difficult for him because sometimes you've got people right over you, and as soon as you snap it, trying to get your hands up and block them, you can be a little bit late getting it done.
And now here comes their final timeout as they take it with 8 ticks remaining. And with inside of 10 seconds, 8 to be precise, we get whistles and a timeout on the field. So out comes the field goal team now for the second time here today. This to potentially send us to overtime. And his kick is right there. It's good. And they will tie this game here in the final seconds. So a money kick there in the final seconds. And now, barring any hijinks on the kickoff here, partner, I think you and I, we're going to settle in for a little overtime.
And I wouldn't have it any other way. This has been a dogfight all through regulation. No reason to think it won't continue in the extra period.
It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. Here's Oliver. And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
Take over first and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
As we said, they control their own destiny now. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A good pickup there of 20 yards. They go play action with Ryan. Caught by Jones. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
16-yard line.
So the ball down to the 16 here for first and 10.
Ryan's throw caught by Jones. A good rally to the football keeps him to only a yard, and it's second down. 2 minutes left in this overtime session, and still all tied. Looking to throw again on second down. Ryan throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. The intended target was Calvin Ridley, and it's third down. Coming up on a 3rd and 9. Opening drive of overtime as they look to convert. Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. I don't want to overhype it, but this is a big early season game, especially an overtime win. That can give you a big boost going forward in the season.
It certainly can, and I don't think you're overhyping it because cliches go out the window when you start to play overtime. And you're right, the winner of this game now, that's an extra boost moving forward. And it actually is an extra hurt for the team that loses because normally you shake it off. But in this situation, it lingers a little bit longer.
So he remains perfect, 3 for 3 in the field goal department.
And it's so important for any offense to have an ace like him up their sleeve, isn't it? Because now You know what his range is, and as soon as your offense gets there, you're pretty much counting on 3 points going up on the board.
Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. First throw in overtime now for Trubisky. And he's going to keep it here. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. Now, what can Trubisky do here in overtime? That is caught by Cohen. They'll contain him to just 4. Second down.
4 yards on the pickup. Second and
throwing again on second down. Trubisky. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. In for the sack, Deion Jones. After that sack we just saw, Trubisky and the Bears deal with a 3rd and long.
3rd and 12.
And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete.
Incomplete.
Now here's your ball game. Down 3 in overtime, but they're going for this thing on 4th down. From the shotgun is Trubisky. Gonna let one fly for Robinson. And this is gonna be incomplete. The Bears tried it on 4th down, unable to convert. And the Falcons will take control of the football in great field position. So that's the second time this game they've given it up on 4th down. They're now 1 for 3 on 4th down conversion tries.
But they must feel good about what they're doing, right? They continue to go for it on 4th down. Give the defense a lot of credit, though. They've stopped them 2 out of 3 times. Usually you have 4th down plays that you have dialed up and ready to go and you think are going to be successful. Not so far in this game.
That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. It's a win for the Falcons here as we say so long from Atlanta.